Good day. Welcome to this InsightLayer intelligence briefing. Today's analysis is derived from the McKinsey Global Survey on Technology, published in February of 2026. The report illuminates a significant divergence in how organizations are leveraging technology, creating what can only be described as a new two-track economy. For our subscribers, we have structured this briefing into 5 key sections. We will begin by defining the performance divide. From there, we will examine the talent capability gap, analyze AI's role as an innovation engine, detail the divergence in investment strategy, and conclude with the key barriers to scaling these initiatives. Let's begin with our first section, defining the performance divide. The data suggests we are no longer looking at minor variations in performance. Instead, we're witnessing the emergence of 2 distinct classes of companies, largely defined by their strategic approach to technology. It is crucial to be precise about the cohorts we're analyzing. The report, as detailed in footnote 2, defines top performers as those organizations that have achieved an average growth rate of at least 10% in both revenue and EBIT consistently over the past 3 years. This is the benchmark for leadership. And the first point of divergence appears at the highest level of strategy. According to Exhibit 1, at these top performers, 64% of chief information officers are highly involved in shaping enterprise strategy. This figure drops to 52% for all other companies. This 12 percentage point gap signifies a fundamental difference in the CIO's mandate. This quote from the report perfectly captures the underlying mindset shift. For the leading cohort, technology is no longer viewed as a support function or a cost to be managed. It has become the primary engine of value creation and competitive differentiation. This philosophical shift is central to understanding their subsequent actions. Indeed, and that strategic realignment directly influences human capital strategy. This brings us to our second section, the talent capability gap. Here, the core strategic choice is whether to build internal expertise or to rent it from the market. The data reveals 2 distinct philosophies at play. As outlined in the report's analysis of Imperative 4, top performers are actively increasing the insourcing of strategic technology expertise. They are building capability. Conversely, other companies are increasingly outsourcing, essentially renting capacity for what they deem lower demand work. This creates a critical long-term vulnerability. That vulnerability is most acute in the field of artificial intelligence. Exhibit 5 reports that 31% of all companies cite talent and capability gaps as their primary challenge in adopting Agentic AI. For organizations that habitually rent expertise, this gap becomes a chronic condition, preventing them from developing the deep, contextual knowledge required for sophisticated AI deployment. Precisely. This leads directly to our third section, which examines how top performers leverage AI not merely for operational efficiency, but as a core engine for innovation. Their drive for internal capability is the key enabler. And their approach, as detailed in the analysis of Imperative 3, is multifaceted. They are insourcing strategic expertise to lead these efforts. They are systematically reskilling their existing workforces to raise the organization's overall AI literacy. And they are conducting targeted hiring to acquire specific, critical new talent. It's a comprehensive strategy to own their AI destiny. Our analysis at InsightLayer shows that this strategic choice to build internal capability is directly linked to the ability to use AI for genuine innovation rather than just incremental process improvement. Owning the talent allows for the deep integration of agentic AI models that can reason and act, creating proprietary systems and durable competitive advantages that are simply unattainable through outsourced partnerships. A strategy of this magnitude requires significant capital commitment. Let's now turn to our fourth section and examine the divergence in investment strategy, where we see the strategic intent translated into stark budgetary differences. Exhibit 3 clearly shows a reordering of priorities. The top tech transformation initiative is now using AI to transform the IT function and, by extension, the entire enterprise. 54% of top performers cite this as their leading initiative, compared to only 38% of other companies. AI has moved from a defensive posture, like cybersecurity, to an offensive one focused on growth. And they are backing this priority with aggressive funding. Looking at Exhibit 4, we see that 28%, nearly 1/3, of top performers plan to increase their technology spending by more than 10% in the coming year. This is the level of investment required to fund the internal capability building we've discussed. Now, contrast that with the rest of the market. The same data from Exhibit 4 shows that only 3% of other companies are planning a similar level of investment. The gap between 28% and 3% is not merely a difference in degree. It represents a fundamental divergence in strategic commitment that widens the competitive chasm each fiscal year. This leads to our final critical question. If the importance of AI is widely understood, why do so many organizations fail to scale their initiatives? Our fifth section addresses the key barriers that cause agentic AI adoption to stall. The data from Exhibit 5 is unambiguous. The number one barrier, cited by 31% of respondents, is the very talent gap we've already discussed. Critically, this is followed by integration complexity with legacy systems and, at 24%, the lack of modern data foundations. These are not superficial issues. They are deep structural impediments. Our analysis at InsightLayer shows that the top barriers for the laggards, specifically talent gaps and inadequate data foundations, are the precise capabilities that top performers are aggressively insourcing and investing in. This creates a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle of advantage. Investment in talent and data removes the primary barriers to AI adoption, which enables further innovation, which in turn justifies greater investment. It is a competitive moat that is actively being deepened. The data presents a clear and accelerating divergence. We leave our subscribers with a final question for strategic consideration. Given the widening divide in strategy, talent, and investment, on which side of this two-track economy does your organization currently operate? This concludes the InsightLayer briefing. Check the description for the full source. Do well to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell us which report you'd like us to crush next. See you in the next one.